Yan, kita nyo? Kita nyo to? Class?
Yes po.
Ma'am.
Yes po.
Ayan.
Yes,
Yung ano, yung pointer, kita nyo?
Kita, ma'am.
Yes po.
Kita na ma'am.
Yung kanina kasi, inopen ko siya sa MS Teams. Hindi ko akalain na hindi nyo makikita yung pointer. Kita nyo to? Mouse?
Opo, ma'am.
Opo. Yes, ma'am. Dito na po.
Ayan. Ulitin natin. Okay, so averaging. Okay. So when you say averaging, so this is the general equation for average, diba? So if you have 3 inputs, okay, so you just simply add the number of inputs. So V1, V2, V3 over number of inputs. So sa case na to, tatlo yung inputs natin, so we have 3. So negative V1 plus V2 plus V3 over 3. So this is general equation for average. Okay, so this is the first equation for V out. Okay. We also have second equation for V out. Okay. So if all input resistances are equal, so V out is also equal to negative RF over R times V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay? And then equate V out 1 and V out 2. So we just equate two equations for V out such that the first equation is, okay, so ito na yun. So negative V out, negative V1 plus V2 plus V3 over 3 is equal to negative RF over R times V1 plus V2 plus V3. So what will happen now? So we'll just simply cancel this one. So negative V1 plus V2 plus V3 and the negative V1 plus V2 plus V3 here. Magka-cancel lang siya, di ba? So after cancellation of input voltages, okay, after canceling those, so ang matitira na lang is 1/3 is equal to RF over R. Tama ba? Okay? So from the circuits here, given circuits, RF is given 100K. Ang pinapahanap sa atin is the value of input resistances. So if RF is 300K ohm, 1/3 is 1/3 is equal to RF over R with RF of 100K. So our input resistance is equal to 300K. Tama ba? Nakita niyo ba ako?
Yes po ma'am.
Ay, yung PowerPoint din. Okay. Tama, 300K? Okay na doon 300K? Paano nakuha? Try nyo sa CalQ.
Yes po ma'am, tama po.
Okay. Now, so we do solving for V out. So we can solve for V out. Meron tayong RF, 100K. R is 300K. Ito na yung value ni R1, R2, and R3. So, lahat sila 300K. Times input voltages for V1 is 0.5, for V2 is 1 volt, and V3 is 0.75 volts. Okay? So, we have, computing yung lahat yan, and then you'll arrive at negative 0.75 volts. So this should be equal to negative 0.75 volts. Negative means just a reversal in polarity, has nothing to do with the amplitude. Try nyo do. Have you tried?
Yes ma'am, tama po yung lumabas.
Okay. Then we have a quiz later. Naka-upload na rin yan. Okay, second category for summer op-amp is summing. So when we say summing, so we just simply add input voltages. Okay, so this is only possible if all resistances are equal. So R1, R2, R3, and RF. Okay. So we have, so since equal sila lahat, so your gain is RF over R is equal to 1. So ang voltage gain niya is 1. So to 1. Okay, negative RF over R is equal to 1. So therefore your V out is simply equal to summation of V1 plus V2 plus V3. of course, negative. Okay? Maging negative siya. Okay, so, may nat... Ayan, meron akong inopen ano dito. Okay. Ayan. So, anong gagawin natin? Anong sagot? Sagutan natin. Okay. So, negative V1. Okay. Ayan. 1 volt plus 2 volts plus 3 volts. So, ang sagot dyan, sagot. Uy, mahiya kayo sumagot kayo.
Negative 6 volts.
Ay, hindi ba kayo sasagot So, we have negative 6 volts. Okay? So, dali lang, no, pag sa amin. Okay. So, yan yung quiz nyo. And then we have, okay. Third is scaling. Okay. Scaling. So, scaling is that no resistors are equal. So, depende. So, may tinatawag tayong scaling factor or weight. So, you're assigning weight to two input resistances. Okay. So, halimbawa dito, solve for R1, R2, and R3 and V out if scaling factor, okay, so yung weight ni R1 is 1, the scaling factor for the second input is 2, and scaling factor for this is 4. So, 1, 2, 4. So, yung 1, 2, 4 na yan is actually the weight. Okay, so sa logic circuit, weight yan. Weight ng each bit. Parang ganun. Okay. So, how we're going to solve for this? So, ganun pa rin. So, V out is negative RF times V1 over R1 plus V2 over R2 plus V3 over R3. Take note, hindi natin pwede i-factor out yung input resistors here because none would be the same. Kasi iba-iba yung scaling factor nila. Kaya, walang magiging pareho dyan. So, ang ginawa ko, so what happens is that pinasok ko na si RF. Okay, I distributed the RF to each term. Yan. So, we have negative RF over R1 V1 plus RF over R2 V2 plus RF over R3 V3. Okay? So, RF over R is actually your scaling factor. Okay? Scaling factor. It's also actually the gain. Gain or scaling factor or weight. Okay? So, they're just the same. Okay? Scaling factor 1 or AV1, AV2 times V2 plus AV3 times V3. How are we going to solve for the R1? Okay? So, we have RF is given 100K. So, we have 1. Scaling factor is 1 or gain is equal to 1. So, we have, for R1, we have 100K. So, if gain is 2, so we have RT is 50K. And if gain is 3 or scaling factor is 4 pala, the input resistance would be equal to 25K. Tama ba? Verify nyo nga. Please verify with your calculator if it is correct. Tama ba? Okay. So, then, for V out, since known naman yung scaling factor or the gain, so we just simply substitute the scaling factor here. Okay, 1 times the input, so 1 volts. 1 times 1 volt plus 2 times 0.5 volts plus 4 times 0.25 volts. So we have 1 plus 1 plus 1. So we have negative 3 volts. Okay. Wait lang class. Question class, question. Scaling. Question? Okay na? So this should be negative. Question? Tatalino na estudyante ko. Gets agad. Saan pa ba yung mga kulang ng negative? Okay. Okay? Tapos na pala tayo eh. We're done. That's all. Okay, so we have a quiz. Ang quiz yun, naka-upload din sa MS Teams. So, update ko lang yung PowerPoint doon. Okay? So, ang error...
Kailan hindi papasa, ma'am?
Nandun din, nasa MS Teams din, tingnan nyo.
Ma'am, kailan po?
Tomorrow, ang due. Due, tomorrow.
Picture, ma'am.
Picture. Try nyo edit. Hindi pwede. Edit nyo lang dun. Tapos submit nyo.
Yung patulad ng sa inyo, ma'am?
Sa MS Teams. Wala ba kayong Wala ba kayong
Picture
doon?
na lang, ma'am.
Bakit? Bakit hindi?
Hindi namin ma-download doon.
Ay, yung assignment? Try
Yes
nyo,
po.
try nyo muna kasi yung logic ko nakapag-submit sa akin na assignment eh.
Na ganun po yung...
Nang ganyan,
ginawa.
ma'am?
Oo, yung assignments. Teka lang
Ma'am, naka-cellphone lang yung iba sa amin.
Hindi sa MS Teams nag-submit.
As
Okay.
MS Teams. Pero
Ano
ma'am,
kaya?
pwede picturean yung output.
Pwede rin, pero try nyo rin gamitin yung try nyo rin gamitin yung ito nakapag-submit sila yung assignment number 1.
Patingin niya, ma'am.
Print screen ko
Sige, ma'am.
Send ko sa nyo.
Patingin ng sinubmit nila, ma'am.
Pati yung mga,
Hindi,
ma'am,
yun
yung mga
lang.
last, ma'am. Yung last
Pati yung sagot,
meeting niyo,
ma'am.
Magkaiba kayo
Ma'am,
ng
may tanong
subject.
po, ma'am.
Yeah.
Bale ma'am,
Ah.
inedit na lang nila yung sinend mong file.
Subukan nyo lang. Sayang naman yung bayad ni TUP sa MS Teams.
Question po, ma'am.
Yes. Question.
May
Yes,
possible decimal yung sagot, ma'am.
Ha?
Ilang decimal points, ma'am?
First two decimal points. Round off to two decimal points. Tatlo yung quiz nga. Quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Tapos, exam na tayo next week
Sa MS Team din di papasa, no, ma'am? Yung umapit.
Alin? First, yung exam tayo next week. From beginning up until here. So, may mga cascading na rin tayo. Mga inverting na inverting. Just like your first assignment.